Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of our house renovation project. So today we will continue with the work in the fieldstone building. So I need to excavate a little more dirt out of it, and today it's getting more or less a little more challenging than the last week because now it's getting really narrow, and to work even with such a small excavator in such a small place is quite challenging. So I would say I will not talk so much and would say have fun and enjoy the video. Yeah, but before we can start building up something, we do not have to forget to dig out the rest here in this area. And this is quite funny, I think. So you see my mini excavator, I'm only scratching a little bit back and forth inside the earth, and then I have a complete load, so a complete track dumper load of fieldstones, which was hidden below this part of the earth. And so this was a quite heavy area. Here you can see again only a little bit of earth, and the rest are simply fieldstones. So I tried a little bit to check in the past, so in older documents. So maybe at this area there was a part of the old foundation, because the fieldstone building must have ended here in that area. So now there is a door and you can walk through, but so in that part where now the camera is standing, and in the past there must be a foundation, and I believe that these fieldstones are the rest of the foundation, which was simply buried here as they rebuilt this part of the building about 40 years ago. Here you can see again the, I would say, trick how I have to handle the earth with the mini excavator, because the space here is simply too narrow to turn around with the mini excavator, to put the earth directly into the track dumper. So this is simply not possible here. I need to move it, like also in the last video, I need to move it around this corner here at the end, and then I have the possibility to put it in the track dumper, and then to move it out the house. So this is definitely a narrow space here because of the wall you can see on the right side. So this wall is not a supporting wall at the end, so I could have demolished it, no problem, but I want to save the work, because it's also not so easy to demolish such a big wall. And at that time point, the strategy or the idea was to simply work around the wall. And even if we need to install a new concrete floor slab below it, there was the idea to work completely around the wall and below the wall, to maybe we can say to rescue this part of the wall. At the end we want, I think the idea of this wall or the placement of the wall inside the fieldstone building is okay, and this means even if we had demolished it, we would build a new wall at the same place. So the idea was simply to save the work of demolishing and rebuilding it, but because also rebuilding such a big wall is not so easy. It also takes time, and it also costs money. And I can spoiler you maybe a little bit that in the future I will definitely regret this decision. And you can see here in this area I also found two really big fieldstones. So these are quite heavy and really big, and even with the mini excavator not so easy to handle. So for this moment I leave them here in space and I will take care later. And I started my laser again, which means I am reaching my destination height, which means I only have to do some final adjustments here and there to be sure that everything is on the final height. Okay, and then it's time to build something up. So you see here now we have this floating wall, I would say, and yeah, it's quite impressive how how good the structure of this wall is. Yeah, so this is quite about 2.5 meters or something like that, and this is simply floating in the air. Yeah, and so I think most of you who already did this know this this black piece of it's it's not paper, it's bitumen. It's a barrier against moisture, which will then in the future will cover the complete floor slab. Yeah, so now here, because below the wall I will never reach it again, this is why I only have this small piece here, but this is enough for the moment. And then I can start building up the wall from the top, the other side around, from the bottom to the top, yeah, to close up this space here again. And so this is sometimes, I would say enjoying. So I'm not a professional, so I simply do this here because it doesn't matter at the end. Nobody will see this again, what I'm doing here, because this will be below the floor in the future. And because this is also not a supporting wall, it doesn't matter if I do it 100% perfect or not. Yeah? And so this is a nice variety of my working day. Yeah, normally I need to excavate earth, I need to carry around field stones and stuff, and here I can start building up a little bit again. And this is something new and a little bit more interesting for the moment. And those of you who have a little more experience in building such walls maybe directly can see it here now on the second row of these stones. And you can see it maybe in a few seconds a little bit better. I'm not doing it completely right here at the time. So what I'm doing here is the second row. You can see it the first and the second row. There are so-called cross fugues, and this is not the proper way to build a wall. So normally you have to avoid this. So in the meantime, I learned about, I know now to have avoided, but as I built that part of the wall, I was not aware. So here it is not so important, I can leave it like it is, but in the future I definitely will avoid such cross fugues to make it, of course, better. Ja, so sieht's aus. Einen Tag später, der ganze Mörtel ist hier trocknet, die Steine, das ist alles fest. Jetzt können wir die Lücke schließen, da machen wir jetzt Unterstopfmörtel rein oder Quellmörtel, wie man den nennen will. Der schließt jetzt die Fuge zwischen den neuen Steinen und der alten Mauer. Und dann ist das hoffentlich wieder eine tragende Verbindung. Ja, schauen wir mal. Kriegen wir bestimmt irgendwie hin. Yeah, and what I just explained now, this is one day later, and the part which I built yesterday, so now everything is hard and dry. And now I need to close the last joint between the wall and the stones, you can see here. And for this you do not use the normal mortar, the normal cement mortar. You need to use, we call it here swelling mortar. Yeah? So this is a special type of mortar which expands while it dries up. So normal cement mortar will shrink a little bit during the drying process. And this is not so good if you now have here a final joint between the wall and you need to close it. Then it's not good if you put something in which shrinks a little bit. And for this you use the swelling mortar, and during drying it will expand, and then you have a really good connection between the upper and the lower part of the wall. And for this, the only thing is, you see it here, it is not so easy, and it's really not a nice work, because it's not so easy to press the mortar between, or in this joint here between the wall and the stones. And to be sure that it is completely filled up, you need to work on the knees, and you also need to push it there. And so it's not nice work, it's quite exhausting. So definitely it's not as much fun as building the wall, but closing the gap is definitely necessary. So you see, we already started the, I would say, last working package for today. So my idea was to simply removing the earth and the quite old foundation inside this door in order to prepare the next part. So the next part would be, you see on the left side now from this perspective, the part from here to the already existing new floor slab. So this should be the next part, and I only want to start here inside this door frame to removing earth and stones, but I underestimated this amount of work a little bit. So in my head, so I was thinking I simply do this, take a shovel, removing it, and then I'm ready and can go home. But then this was quite big task, which I did not expect it at that time. And I was a little bit angry afterwards, because I have a lot of machines, and then I start doing this by hand. So if I estimated it right, I would start it directly with my excavator and not with hands. But I don't know exactly why, but I simply underestimated the amount of work to do here.
Also, jetzt werden sich wahrscheinlich einige fragen, sag mal, warum macht der Typ das eigentlich von Hand? Der hat einen Bagger, der hat doch alles. Tja, ich denke, in erster Linie mache ich das, weil ich ein Idiot bin. Ich habe natürlich wie immer gedacht, komm, hier gerade diesen kleinen Türeingang da freilegen. Da nimmst du gerade eine Schippe in der Hand und fertig ist. Ich wollte eigentlich noch nicht mal den Dumper dafür benutzen. Dass das jetzt aber schon wieder 2 volle Dumper an Erde sind, plus 2 Schubkarren an Steine. Freunde, ich lerne es einfach nicht. Naja gut, aber so, ich meine, so hat man wenigstens das Gefühl, auch ein bisschen gearbeitet zu haben, wenn man auch ein bisschen schwitzt und aus der Puste ist. Ich meine, ich muss ja irgendeine Entschuldigung haben, wenn ich nachher nach Hause komme. Ne? Wenn ich da immer völlig entspannt ankomme, dann glaubt mir ja keiner, dass ich hier tatsächlich arbeite.
Yeah, but at the end, I would say the result is counting, and even if I did this now here by my raw hands, I would say, so the work is done, and for this I can go home for today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and that was it for today. I hope you had fun. I know I did, and then I hope I see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.